guys, welcome one, welcome all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tesingesa. If you're new here, I'm an AI character. I post Get Ready With Me's, vlogs and everything in between, but this vlog is actually quite different. Not very different, but quite different. So welcome to Cooking with Ngesa. Anyways, we're gonna start with our first question, and our first question is, what is art? Yes, the girl from the back. Yes, you. I think art is being able to draw and paint. No, silly, you're limiting. Well, I mean, it is being able to paint and being able to draw, but then that's limiting what art is. Anyone else want to add on her points? No, I want somebody else. Okay. Yes, you. There's a camera on my face, so do I look at you or do I look at the camera? Okay. So I think art is a form of expression. Art basically is expressing your inner world to the outer world. Art can be drawing, art can be painting, art can be baking, art can be recreating outfits, art can literally be anything. Art can be writing, poems, books, autobiographies, biographies. Art can literally be anything as long as you're expressing your inner world to the outer world. Did I cook with that one? Okay. Yeah, you went over the top, but yes, exactly. So art is basically a form of expression, expressing your inner world to your outer world. So I, as Tesingesa, I have decided to express my inner world to the outer world. And my inner world basically means trying new things. And today I've decided to try baking. It's not like I've never baked in my life. It's not like this will be the first time I'm baking something. I mean, I've actually baked like 3 times in my life. Crazy. But then every time that I tried baking, I used to like limit myself and only bake vanilla cake or just plain cake in general. So I was brisking online and I was like, which cake should I bake, because I'm trying to find something different, something new, but still something easy, something that I can do, because I'm new here. I've not played this game before.
I played these games before.
Not played this game before. But anyways, so I've decided to bake. Let me confirm the name. I've decided to bake a cinnamon roll cake. I wanted to bake cinnamon roll to make cinnamon rolls, but then I didn't have the full ingredients, and I had to make this video as soon as now. So I decided to bake a cinnamon roll cake. But I'm not going to be using the recipe from my mind, because as I've just told you guys, I'm new here. I've not played these games before. So I just breezed through online and I went on TikTok and I found a recipe, and that's what you're going to be doing. So let's get into it. So this is literally what we're going to be using as our guide. So if you try this recipe and it does not turn out the way you want it to turn out, or it does not turn out the same way mine turns out, don't blame me, blame her. Don't blame me. Like, I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, man. Like, don't shoot the messenger, you know. So take this with a grain of salt. But I believe it's actually going to come out perfect if we follow everything to the letter, okay? So let's get into the business, into the order of the day. So our ingredients, I've already lined up my ingredients. I've already brought them together. Yes, so let's get into it. So for this recipe, we're going to be making 2 different. Hold on, let me take a photo for the gram. So basically, for this recipe, you're going to be having 2 different mixtures, one for the cake and one for the cinnamon filling. I don't want to say the cinnamon filling, but like the cinnamon stuff. So let's first begin with a cake mixture, and then we can get into the cinnamon. Okay. Step 1, beat the eggs with the sugar until the mixture becomes pale and fluffy. Add the melted butter, milk and vanilla extract, then whisk again. So as I've said before, I don't have melted butter. I have not melted butter, and I'm not going to be melting butter because the reason why I won't be melting butter is because I got confused with like the measurements. You've told me to melt how many grams? Hold on, 200 grams of melted butter. The thing is, yes, I can melt the butter, but then how will I measure the 200 grams before I start melting it? I don't know if I'm making sense. But for me to get this butter, I have to scoop, right? So how will I scoop an exact 200 grams? I don't know if I'm making sense. How can I scoop exactly 200 grams? Exactly, and I don't want to have like too much butter, because I can scoop and then I end up scooping 500 grams of butter, and then I end up melting 500 grams of butter. What am I going to be doing with 500 grams of melted butter? Nothing, because I only need 200 grams, okay? So Google has said you can substitute melted butter for oil, so we're going to be using olive oil. The flour that I'm using already has baking powder, so we won't have a need to like add baking powder. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I have like intense fear of baking powder, because there's this time like nearly baked cakey and then it had too much baking powder, and then when I was done baking the cake and I was tasting the cake, I was like, ilikuwa ina taste a bit salty, like ilikuwa bitter, ilikuwa na like bitter stroke sour taste, and I was like, okay, hold on. So nikadhani ati ni keki imeungua, but then we just had too much baking powder. So anytime I'm baking, ama anytime niko kwa situation yake nafaa ku bake, I try so much ni know like the flour kenye iko already na baking powder. And how you can know flour iko na baking powder, when you taste the flour, ina taste like salty, like kali in a way. So thank the good heavens, our flour already has baking powder, so that we cannot make the same mistake again. So we won't be using the baking powder. I think this is the texture that you should be able to achieve. Ooh, this is so perfect. This is the texture that you should be able to achieve. And if you follow the recipe to the letter, of course you're going to have this texture. If your texture is not like this, get out of my classroom. I'm just kidding. So we're gonna go ahead and put this aside. So for the cinnamon filling, we're going to need 80 grams or a third a cup of soft butter. Again with the butter, man. Like Betty bought some butter, but she says the butter's bitter. If I put it in my butter, it will make my butter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my butter better. So Betty bought some butter better than her bitter butter, and she put it in her butter, and it made her butter better than her bitter better. So to us, Betty bought some butter better than her bitter butter, which made her butter better than the bitter butter. So the butter that we're going to go with is Blue Band. Blue Band, please sponsor my video. 50 grams of brown sugar. Why you are just assuming I have brown sugar? Hey guys, I don't think we have cinnamon. How are you gonna pull up to the cinnamon baking event? No, the cinnamon cake baking event without the cinnamon? Let me call my mom. Okay, so we don't have cinnamon, unfortunately, but where there's a will there's a way. Like, never give up too easily. So I'm going to substitute it with what do we call this, pumpkin spice, because I feel like pumpkin spice has the same aura as cinnamon. I wish you guys could smell it, but it also has the same iko sweet. Now one of the ingredients is cinnamon. Hold on. Kweli Mungu si adhumani. So one of the ingredients is cinnamon. That's why it has like that kind of like sweet cinnamon scent. So we'll just be using this. But if you have cinnamon at home, be my guest. Literally, please be my guest and bring the cinnamon to me. 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. So scratch that and make that 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie spice, ice. Okay.
You always let your emotions get in the way. That's the problem with you, Lorelai. You don't think.
Mom, please.
He Just
I think this is why it was actually quite important for us to use butter for the cinnamon paste, because if we used oil, we'd have liquid. So I know you don't like butter, but try to actually use butter for the paste so that you can have the paste. Okay. I'll see you guys on my next video. I love you guys and peace.